Hey everybody, this is Dan Blanchard with the Travel in Time with Dan show. I'm here at the University of Connecticut, the UConn Huskies Sports Museum. You can see this place is really cool. I'm in the basketball area right now, although there are all the sports are actually included outside the basketball. All the UConn sports that are played are actually here in this museum, but then they've got a really a small place over here that really concentrates on it. And if you have not been here down to the University of Connecticut campus and the sports museum, you absolutely should come down here to this sports museum and check it out. This place is really cool. So now, if you've seen or heard, Connecticut is called the basketball capital of the world. I mean, is that justified or not? Maybe it is, maybe it isn't. We'll talk about it a little bit. The first time it happened that they called Connecticut the basketball capital of the world was back in 1995 when both the boys and the girls team were ranked number one, and the girls team went on to win it. 35-0 season, Rebecca Lobo, huge, national champions. The boys came up a little short, didn't win it, but that was the first time that Connecticut was called the basketball capital of the world. Now, about a decade later, 2004 or so, about 9 years later, the boys and girls do win it at the same year, and that is like the first time in history that a boys and girls college basketball team actually won it. They do it again, not once, but they do it twice. They do it again in 2014, right? And then that's when the university campus, the college and their marketing materials and other things, they start calling themselves, they're basically the basketball capital of the world, right? Not too long ago, 2024, the Connecticut signs, highway signs, when you come into Connecticut, you start seeing on the signs, the basketball capital of the world. So, there seems to be some good arguments that maybe Connecticut is the basketball capital of the world because of UConn and all that they have achieved. Now, if we go back, way back, let's say early 1900s, the Connecticut UConn Huskies were actually called the Connecticut Aggies. Aggies being like agriculture, right? It was an agriculture, like a farm and agriculture college, right? And they were in the Yankees conference for a long, long time. Eventually, they get into the Big East Conference, 1979, and that's, what I grew up with them playing in the Big East Conference, okay? Geno Auriemma, who's been around for about 40 years. He comes in, he takes over the girls' team in 85. They're struggling. Well, now, but he creates a culture of excellence and winning there and creates a total dynasty. And over 40 years later, he's still there, and he's got like 12 national championships, beats John Wooden's UCLA championship run, and he's arguably the best basketball coach ever. Jim Calhoun comes in about the same time in the 80s, a struggling basketball team, and he turns it all around and wins 3 national championships here at UConn. A couple of those were during the years that I was here, which was pretty cool. And then after that, Kevin Ollie comes in for the boys. He was actually, me and him were actually in the same English class here at UConn. He comes in, he wins a championship, right? And then Dan Hurley comes in. He's the latest boys UConn coach, and he wins 2 more national championships. And that is, I believe, 6 national championships in about 30 years for the boys. So they're winning one about every 5 years, which is like in the last 30 years, which is kind of pretty much unheard of, right? I mean, even Connecticut Representative John B. Larson has said that UConn or that Connecticut is the basketball capital of the world, right? So, I mean, are they? Well, there's a good argument if you're talking about UConn. I mean, if you're talking about the high schools in the area, the Connecticut high schools haven't shown to be that much more powerful than any of the other state's colleges. Professional basketball, well, we had a lot of UConn women went off to the the Connecticut professional basketball team and others, of course, but they have just recently been sold and have moved out of state. And I remember when I was a young man and a boy that the Celtics, the Celtics used to come to Connecticut and play at the Civic Center, which is now called the XL Center, and I can't remember the last time the Celtics has been in Hartford playing. They're pretty much predominantly just playing Boston now, all right? So let me just tell you who I think, I'm going back to that time of like the, let's say early to mid-90s. There's 2 basketball players that really stick out for me when we're talking about this whole history of UConn and it being the basketball capital of the world, you've got Rebecca Lobo, the 1995 championship team, 35-0, the perfect dream season, all that. She's the one that comes here. Her parents didn't want her to come here because she was really smart and could have gone Ivy League, no problem. So her parents wanted to do that, but she came here, got herself a great education, played basketball, and changed everything for UConn basketball, right? Another one on the boys' side who I thought was very pivotal and kind of changed everything here at UConn. He played, under Coach Jim Calhoun, and his name was Scott Burrell. Now, Scott Burrell, I played football against him in high school. When Scott Burrell came here, he did such a nice job. Everybody remembers the miracle shot when he threw the ball in from the full length of the court there, right? And Nate George takes a shot and they win in the Sweet 16, only to have the hearts broken in the Elite Eight when Duke turns around and Christian Leitner does the same thing to them pretty much, right? But Scott Burrell, he gets drafted first round professional basketball and first round professional baseball. I mean, he really was the bridge that turned UConn from a mediocre basketball team to a great team and a kind of a dynasty that follows that. He goes off and he plays with Michael Jordan on those championship Chicago Bulls teams, right? And that was Scotty Burrell, who was Michael Jordan's teammate, right? So it's just amazing, I think, what Rebecca Lobo and Scott Burrell do here. And I want to recognize for their contributions here in changing UConn into a powerhouse and possibly Connecticut into the basketball capital of the world. Now, if you're a student here or a fan here, you come here for the games, you know a thing that's called Husky Mania. That's right. Husky Mania is what we have here at UConn with the Husky basketball team and some of the other sports teams as well. There's been a lot of other championships in the other sports teams as well. But Husky Mania is a big, big deal here, okay? Now, you know what I like to do when I do these shows, Travel in Time with Dan shows, and I talk about travel and history and leadership, I definitely throw in a leadership lesson. So what is the leadership lesson here at the University of Connecticut, the UConn Huskies, Husky Mania, go Huskies? The leadership it's not just about the wins. It's about building a culture of excellence in leadership. And that's what Geno has done here for the women's team and taking a mediocre team and creating a dynasty. And if we go back, Calhoun did the same sort of thing. Took a mediocre team and built a dynasty around his leadership and creating a culture of excellence and expectation to win, not just win, but to do very, very well, all right, to do excellence, all right? So anyways, now, this is Dan. Thank you for joining me with my Travel in Time with Dan show. I'm not sure where I'll be next, but wherever I will be, it will be great. Thank you for spending time with me where we combine travel with history and with leadership. Y'all take care, and I'll see you again very soon.